Hello and welcome to Bite Size Maths with Mr. Thomas. Today we're looking at Pythagoras Theorem, so we're going to be continuing our talk on Pythagoras Theorem. So Pythagoras Theorem. And what we're going to be looking at is we're going to be looking at a real-life example of applying Pythagoras Theorem. Okay? So let us say that we have an airplane. So my little airplane is going to be like that. So we have an airplane that leaves Manchester Airport. So this is Manchester Airport. Leaves Manchester Airport and heads due east. And it continues due east for 160 kilometers. It then changes direction and heads due north for 280 kilometers. And it arrives at Bristol, for example. And what we want to calculate is the distance from Bristol to Manchester as a straight line. Okay, so we don't want to go east and then north. We want to go in a straight line from Manchester to Bristol. So this is where we would use Pythagoras theorem, because we know that this angle is a 90-degree angle. Okay, and the side opposite the 90-degree angle is the hypotenuse. So we can find the length of the hypotenuse by using the length of the other two sides. So the way to work this out is to say, using Pythagoras theorem, we know that c squared, the hypotenuse squared, is equal to a squared plus b squared. So c, we don't know. If I represent that by c, we don't know at the moment, so we're trying to work out what c is. So c squared is equal to, let's make this one a and this one b. So let's say that is a and this is b. We have c squared equals a squared, which is 280 kilometers squared, plus 160 kilometers squared. Now those are two very big numbers, so you will have to calculate that on your calculator. So if I calculate those on my calculator, I get c squared is equal to 104,000 kilometers squared. So to find c, we need to find the square root of both sides. And remember that the square root of something squared is just equal to that something. Okay? So the square root of c squared is just going to give me c, which is equal to the square root of 104,000 kilometers squared. So that now gives me that c is equal to 322 kilometers, okay, because we're looking at kilometers in terms of our distance. So c is 322 kilometers. Now what we need to do is we need to perform a sense check, and our sense check is going to be, if this is the hypotenuse, does my number appear to be bigger than the other two sides? And it does, because 322 is bigger than 160, and it's also bigger than 280. So we have found the longest side, the hypotenuse.